What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is the D to the L to the N, the DL in sports, and this is the Cashline. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Had a good night last night. Watched that NBA draft. Watched that Lonzo Ball and that LeVar Ball boy go crazy and do what they've been doing this whole time. But but it's good to see they about to get paid. Them young boys about to get paid. Seen that Butler trade. So one thing we know, when that NBA start, that NBA fantasy start, we can mess with them Timberwolves now, y'all. With that Butler and that Wiggins and Rubio and Towns, that's a stack ready to be made. You know what I'm saying? But wanted to start the show. So give a shout out to the guru up there in the sweatshop. Them boys is doing their thing. That's like the Bentley of this thing. That's like the Bentley and the Jaguar of this fantasy world. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to give a shout out to the sweatshop. That's where I started at. As far as did it for a couple years, but the guru, that Maurice Simmons helped me take this to a whole nother level. Just so you see how this fantasy thing go, man. I was talking NASCAR with somebody this week and chopping it up and talking NASCAR and getting messages back and forth and back and forth. And then all of a sudden, I see my Facebook start blowing up, and it's like, okay, we see you. Shout out to my boy Clint up there in NASCAR, one of my NASCAR dudes, and we chopping it up. The next thing I know, Facebook going crazy, and I'm like, man, what's going on? What's going on? So I'm watching it on the TV. And the dude that was chopping it up with me, sending me the little NASCAR info and stuff, was in the booth interviewing Ryan Blaney and some of the top drivers in NASCAR. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to the right people, y'all. I'm talking to the right people. You know what I mean? Another shout out to my boy Bobby, that MLB. If he was in the private group that we got, you see, he had a $5 entry and banged him for 20 grand, for 20 stacks, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is real. It ain't play. And so shout out to y'all. Now, quick MLB recap, man. I was in the money for the last couple of days. I've been in the money, working on a little system, and it went pretty good. I was deep into the money. I was in first place for most of one of the tournaments until the eighth inning. It was that Perez out of Kansas City hit a grand slam home run, and a grand slam home run, there's so many points involved in that it changes the whole landscape of the thing, and it took me out the money. But I've been doing good at that MLB on some of them late slates and short slates because of my work schedule. Now today on that MLB, just a real quick thing before I jump into the NFL. My favorite stacks of the day is going to be the Diamondbacks and the Nationals. And why is that? They both facing pitchers that's their first start in Major League Baseball. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to prove it to me. And I'm going to attack you until you prove to me that you belong up here. You know what I mean? With the big boys. So like I say, y'all, my favorite stacks of the day is them Diamondbacks and them Nationals. And you also, the best pitcher of the day is going to be that Chris Archer. That's Chris Archer. He's the real deal. He's the ace pitcher on the slate today. So if you're making a MLB lineup, look at them Diamondbacks. Look at them Nationals. Diamondback stack is going to be kind of expensive, but check them stacks out, y'all, and put that Chris Archer up there. I think he like 12.3. Put that Archer up there, and then you can pay down. There's a lot of good pitching in a 15 game slate. There's a lot of good pitching that's down lower. I don't even like paying up for pitching, but when you got somebody like Archer, Kershaw, Sale, certain people like that, you know, you might hurt yourself if you don't take them. But like I say, I usually don't pay up for pitching. I really don't. But certain people I do, and he's one of them. Now we're going with them St. Louis Rams, y'all. We're going to find the value for that fantasy because, like I said, once this football thing, boom, this thing going to go. This Cashline is going to explode. Please believe it. And I'm talking to the right people. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the right info. Going to start writing some articles for some fantasy sports sites. Get ready to start writing some articles for them, and some things that's really taking off. So we got the St. Louis Rams, y'all. Went 4-12 last year. Bad team. Got rid of Jeff Fisher. It's probably for the best. I don't know how he's been coaching for so long anyway. And forget his name. If you look at his record, if you look at the numbers, he's been terrible for a long time now. A lot of coaches have got fired with better records than him. Now, their new coach is going to be that Sean McVay. Got to wait and see on him. They didn't have a draft pick in the first round because of all that stuff they gave up last year for Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying? They gave up a lot for Jared Goff, so they didn't have a first round pick. But in the second round, they took a tight end named Everett out of South Alabama. That's one of them wait and see projects also. In the third round, they took that wide receiver Cup out of East Michigan, big kid. But like I said, that's one of them wait and see things. You know what I mean? In the division last year, the Rams was 4-12. Seahawks won the division with 10-5-1. The 49ers was 2-14, and the Cardinals was 7-8-1. So they moved out there. The LA Rams moved out there to LA. You know what I mean? Went from St. Louis to LA. So they got that new stadium and all that out there. So them crowds is gonna be hype. And I'm gonna tell y'all what the fantasy value is for these LA Rams. Now quarterback, they got that Jared Goff. Got to wait and see how that's gonna pan out. You know what I mean? Last year he didn't even really get to play. They spent all that money, moved all them picks for him to get up there, and really didn't get to play. So we got to kind of see how that goes. But at running back, we got that Todd Gurley at the running back position, and he I think he's where the fantasy value is between the defense and Todd Gurley. That's where the fantasy value is, y'all, for this LA Rams. Because I'm telling you, that defense is a problem with that Aaron Donald, who I think 6'1", 280 pounds. I think he's the best. Defensive tackle in the league. You know what I mean? Bar none. I really do. Now with that Todd Gurley, with that new coach they got coming in, should be a lot more running the ball. That's one thing that the problem with Jeff Fisher wasn't using Gurley right. Gurley's a primetime back, man. Todd Gurley's the real deal. Please believe it. And this new coach, he's known for more running the ball, run style offense and things like that. So I think it's going to benefit Todd Gurley. So we going to him. We will go with Todd Gurley, and we will use that Rams defense at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing here in the Cashline that we're trying to do is we want to play defenses at home. I mean, there's going to be certain matchups that's going to be on the road that we can play, but overall, we want to play defenses at home. You know what I'm saying? Now, wide receiver, that Kenny Britt's gone. They still got that Austin. You know what I mean? I think Austin, he's a speedster. Runs back kicks. He does a little bit of everything. Now, I played him a couple times last year, but he's one of them dudes you got to kind of catch on the right week. Well, 2-3 weeks he won't give you nothing, and then 1 week he'll run a kick back and catch a touchdown pass. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't somebody I play consistently. He kind of hard to pick. You know what I'm saying? Now, tight end, they got that Tyler Higbee, and then they brought in that kid Everett out of South Alabama, like I said. So we kind of got to weed through that. But that's not where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, the defense. With that Aaron Donald, they got that Barron kid at linebacker. They got Ogletree. They got Quinn back and on the line. And they lost their defensive coordinator. He actually with the Browns now, but they lost that defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, who was the guy that masterminded that Bounty Gate. Y'all remember Bounty Gate? So hopefully he can have the Cleveland Browns hitting somebody this year. But he left, so hopefully that defensive coordinator that comes in can keep this defense on the same level, because that's definitely where we're going. My shot caller, my slate changer, y'all, for the LA Rams is gonna be that Todd Gurley. That's where the fantasy value is here, y'all. That's where the fantasy value is. It's gonna be with that Todd Gurley, and we're gonna pound him. You know what I mean? If we get him in the right situation, we're gonna pound him. You know what I mean? I'm jumping right on him right when the season starts, because like I said, this guy's a straight he's a monster. Todd Gurley's a monster. There ain't no other way to say it. Gurley's a monster. But my butt squeaker for these LA Rams, y'all, is gonna be the defense, and I'm playing them. As long as that defensive coordinator don't come in and change everything around and everything stays pretty much the way it is, I'm playing him. You know what I'm saying? And my maggot of the day for the St. Louis Rams is going to be Jared Goff, because I feel that Goff's going to be in a lot of he's going to be in a lot of bad situations, and there was a reason they wasn't playing him last year. There was a reason they didn't play him, and he didn't get no playing time. I don't know if he couldn't pick up the playbook or whatever the situation is. But when somebody goes number one in the draft and they don't play, there's a reason for that. So I see him throwing a lot of picks and things like that. So we got to be wary of that. But as everything changes as the season goes on, y'all, we could be 3-4 weeks into the season and he be doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to take that as it goes. So that's pretty much it for today, y'all. Like I said, that's a big slate, man. That baseball is a big slate today. And like I said, my favorite pitchers is Archer, that Diamondbacks and that National Stat, because they got the new pitchers, man. They got them pitchers who ain't never pitched in the MLB, so you want to go to them, and we're gonna try to bang them until they show us they can pitch in Major League Baseball. We're gonna continue to attack them. So like I said, man, I appreciate y'all joining in. Cashline's going good. Getting ready to write some articles for some fantasy sites and things like that. And this thing's taking off, man. So like I said, when the NFL gets started, it's going to be a problem. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all know what it is. Cashline, baby.